Today we are going to be covering the binomial theorem, and this is something that you guys saw last year as well. But before we actually get to the binomial theorem, let's go and simplify the following expression, x minus 2 to the fourth power. So that means that we need to be able to multiply 4 times. So I end up with x minus 2, x minus 2, x minus 2, and one more x minus 2. So we are going to multiply the first two binomials. Distribute the x, distribute the negative 2. That will give me x squared minus 2x minus 2x plus 4. Combine like terms, so that will give me x squared minus 4x plus 4. We are going to multiply the second two binomials. Well, that will give us the same, x squared minus 2x plus 4, which will give us x squared minus 4x plus 4. And now multiply those two trinomials. So distribute the x squared to all three, the negative 4x to all three, and the 4 to all three. And then we can check our answers and see what you get. Go and pause it. Everybody's working on problem number 1. Excellent. So in this case, x squared times x squared will give me x to the fourth minus 4x to the third plus 4x squared. Distribute the negative 4, negative 4x to the third plus 16x squared minus 16x. Distribute the 4, so it gives me positive 4x squared minus 16x plus 16. And now we can combine our like terms. There's only one x to the fourth. X to the thirds, we have 1, we have 2. So it gives me negative 8x to the third. My x squared, so I have 4x squared plus 16 will be 20, plus 4 will be positive 24x squared. My x's, negative 16 and negative 16 will be negative 32x and plus 16. So therefore, that will be our result. But we know that you learned last year that we can actually use the binomial theorem to expand and simplify when we multiply binomials to a power. So go and glue your cutout. Example number 2. Copy it down, and then we can go through it. Excellent. So at this point, you copy example 2 as well. We are going to get to a binomial theorem in a few minutes. But first, one of the notations that you guys will see is new for you guys. N choose R. The symbol, the double parenthesis with a number on top and 1 on the bottom, is used instead of N choose R. It's exactly the same, to be able to denote some of the binomial coefficients, and other places in math as well. Sometimes when you guys are using probability, some of your professors will be using this notation instead of this. Let's go and simplify. Go back and recall our formula. So if I need to simplify this without using the calculator, 9 choose 3. So what should be? It should be a fraction, so it'll be 9 factorial over 9 minus, and this 3 will be 6 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial. So 9, then you subtract, 9 minus 3 will be 6, and then the 3 repeats. I need to expand it by hand, so it'll be 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 factorial. And I'm going to stop right here because I'm going to take my 6 factorial, place it right underneath. So therefore, those two cancel. I still have my 3 factorial, so it'll be 3 times 2 times 1. And I'm going to simplify, so that gives me 9 and 3, reduce it by 3, so that gives me 3, and that cancels out. My 8 and my 2, reduce it by 2, so it gives me 4. So 3 times 4 is 12, times 7 will be 84. Divided by 1, or just 84. For letter B, it's the same process, so it'll be 8 factorial. 8 minus 8 will be 0 factorial, and 8 repeats. So in this case, when I rewrite it, I'm just going to rewrite a factorial over a factorial. That cancels out. And 0 factorial is equal to 1. And that is one of the reasons that we have 0 factorial equal to 1. Because 8 choose 8, there's only one way to select 8 people out of 8. So try the same thing for C and D and see what you get. Go ahead and pause it. Excellent. So in this case, it will be 5 factorial over 5 minus 1 will be 4 factorial, and the 1 factorial after this. I'm going to rewrite this as 5 times 4 factorial. I'm going to stop at the 4 factorial because I'm going to place my other 4 factorial underneath. That cancels out. And 1 factorial is just 1. So there's 5. 5, choose 1. There's 5 ways of selecting only one person out of 5. 5, choose 4. How many ways are there to select 4 people out of 5? Also 5 ways. So it'll be 5 factorial over 5 minus 4 will be 1 factorial multiplied by 4 factorial. You'll notice that it's exactly the same. So therefore it'll be 5 times 4 factorial. 4 factorial will cancel out. And 1. Which is just 5. Example number 3. Notice that example number 3 and example number 1 are exactly the same. The only difference is that now we are using your binomial expansion. One way is to go through the summation notation. Another way is just to be able to just go through the formula that's expanded. The first time I'm going to go through, I'm just going to go use this notation first. Since we already covered summation notation back on chapter on 9.2. I'm going to start all the way on the left, so I have enough space. So first, it tells me that I'm going to start with 0. So the first number I'm going to plug in is 0. So it'll be n, where n is your 4, a will be your x, and b will be your negative 2. So first, n choose r. So n is 4, and the first number that we need to plug in for r is 0. I'm going to place my a and my b. My a will be x, and my b will be negative 2. Now the exponent for the a says n minus r. I already have it here, so it'll be 4 minus 0 will be 4. The exponent for the b will be r, which is 0. Plus. Now my r is 1. So it'll be 4, choose r. So 4, choose 1. I'm going to repeat my x, my a, and my b, my x and my negative 2. The exponent is going to be n minus r, but now r is 1, so it'll be 4 minus 1 is 3. And b will be to the r power, which is 1. Plus. Now my r will be 2. Remember, we're going to go all the way up to n, all the way up to 4. So make sure that you guys are writing small. I should be writing smaller as well. So it'll be 4, choose 2, my x and my b. So this will be my a and my b is negative 2. My exponent, this is n minus r, so it'll be 4 minus 2 will be 2. and this is r, which is 2, plus 4 choose r is now 3, my x and my b, my a and my b, so it'll be x and negative 2. This is n minus r, so it'll be 4 minus 3 will be 1, and then my exponent is 3. Now my r is 4, so it'll be 4 choose 4, and that'll be the last one, all the way up to 4, all the way up to n, which happens to be 4. My a will be x, my b will be negative 2. So 4 minus 4 will be 0, and my exponent for r is 4, or for the negative 2 will be 4. And now we simplify. Now at this point, you can use your calculator to calculate some of these numbers, because the numbers do get a little large. And let's go and simplify the first one. 4 choose 0. 4 choose 0 is 1, correct. So 4 choose 0 gives you 1. Out of 4 people, select 0, there's only one way, which is 0. So 1, x to the 4th will be x to the 4th power, and negative 2 to the 0 power is just 1. 4 choose 1 is 4. And you can type into the calculator, 4 choose 1. There's only one way of selecting 4 people. One person out of 4 people. There's only 4 ways of selecting one person out of 4 people. X to the 3rd, and negative 2 to the 1st power will be just negative 2. 4 choose 2. So 4 choose 2 will give you 6. X squared is x squared. Negative 2 to the 2nd power will be positive 4. Plus 4 choose 3. So just 4 choose 3 will give us 4. X to the 1st power will be just x, and negative 2 to the 3rd power will be negative 8. 4 choose 4, there's only one way of selecting 4 people out of 4. X0, or you can type it in if you want. 4 choose 4, which gives me 1. X to the 1st power will be just 1, and negative 2 to the 4th power will be give me positive 16. And I just simplify. 1 times 1 is 1, times x to the 4th will give me x to the 4th. Multiply the numbers, negative 16, x to the 3rd. Multiply with the numbers, positive 24, x squared. Multiply the numbers, negative 32, x. And multiply all 3 numbers, since we have no x's, so it will be plus 16. And if you notice, on example number 1, you get exactly the same thing that we got on example number 3. Which way do you guys prefer to do it? Actually, after a while, this will be easier as the numbers get much bigger. So example number 4. So go and write down, and then we can expand it together. Because there'll be some patterns that will be easier if you can just follow some of the patterns that are there. Okay, you guys ready? I'm going to start all the way on the left because I do need to write a little smaller, otherwise it won't fit. So n is 5. A will be equal to y. So a will be 2y, and b will be equal to negative 3. And we have first will be 5 choose 0. I'm going to place my A and my B. I'm going to take care of the exponent last. Plus 5 choose 1, 2y, negative 3. Plus 5 choose 2, 2y, negative 3. Plus 5 choose 3, 2y, negative 3. Plus 5 choose 4, 2y, negative 3. Plus 5 choose 5, which is the last one, 2y, negative 3. Once you have this, we just need to be able to deal with our exponents next. Remember, the first exponent is 5 minus 0 is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. 5 minus 2 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. 5 minus 4 is 1. 5 minus 5 is 0. The second one is just 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. After a while, we start kind of go a little faster. I said, well, this one will start 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then for the second one, we go backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So you start to see some patterns. So go ahead and simplify each one. Well, let's simplify the first two together. And then I'll let you guys simplify the rest. 5 choose 0 is 1. What's 2y to the fifth power? So it'll be 2y times 2y times 2y. So 2 to the fifth is 32. So it'll be 32y to the fifth. And negative 3 to the 0 power is just 1. I'm going to simplify this, so it gives me 32y to the fifth plus. Simplify the next and see what you get. And then we can compare our answers afterwards. Go and pause it. Excellent. So in this case, 5 choose 1 is 5. 2 to the 4th power is 16, y to the 4th, and negative 3. So 5 times 16 times 3. There'll be negative 240, so this will be a negative. Five choose 2, I believe it's 10. So plus 10. 2y to the third will give me 8y to the third. Negative 3 squared will be 9. So it gives me positive 720y to the third. Plus 5 choose 3 will give me 10 again. 2y to the second will be 4y squared. Negative 3 to the third power will be negative 27. So 4 times 20. So it'll be negative 180y to the second power. Plus 5 choose 4 will give me 5. 2y to the first power. And negative 3 to the fourth power will be 81. So it'll be 10 times 81 will be 810y. And the last term, 5 choose 1 is 5. 2y to the 0 is 1. And negative 3 to the third power will be negative 243. So therefore, it will be negative 243. And this will be your final answer. But you want to be able to keep in mind your patterns. So in this case, it's 5 choose 0, 5 choose 1, 5 choose 3, so on. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Something else that you want to keep in mind is that if you add your exponents, 5 plus 0 is 5, 4 plus 1 is 5, 3 plus 2 is 5, 2 plus 3 is 5, So that will help you on the next problem. Example number 5. Go and write it down. So at this point, we can go through the whole process and we can actually write down the entire set and then just work out the 6th term. But in this case, we're just looking for the 6th term. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to have a total of 9, correct? Because 8 plus 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to place it here. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm looking for this 6th term. Notice I placed plenty of space. You probably need less. So see if you can figure out, without doing all the work, see if you can figure out what should be here. I know that this has to be a set. A will be A, and B will be 2B. What should be those numbers that I'm looking for? Go and pause it, and then we can see if you got it correct. Excellent. At this point, everybody should have your final answer. So this should be A choose what? So A choose 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What should be your exponents? So be 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Or 8 minus 5 is 3. And what should be this number? 5. So notice that the formula comes into play in this set. So once you know that's 8 choose 5, 8 minus 5 is 3, and then the 5 is over here. And now I can just simplify that one term. So 8 choose 5 will give me 56 using my calculator. 8 to the 3rd power is just 8 to the 3rd. And 2 to the 5th power, 2 to the 5th power is 32. So it'll be 32b to the 5th. I just multiply 56 times 36. 56 times 32. It'll be 1,792 a to the 3rd, b to the 5th. So try example number 6, or last example for today. So at this point, go and pause it. At this point, everybody's working and finding the coefficient of this term. So you have to figure out which term is this. Is this your 2nd, your 4th, your 7th? Which term is this? Go and pause it, and then we can compare our notes afterwards. Excellent. So at this point, everybody has worked it out. So let's see, it's 8 to the 4th. I'll place my dashes. So this is the n is 11. That'll be your n. A is 2a, b will be negative 3b. So that's 11, so it'll be 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm looking for the 4th, right? I'm looking for where my exponent will be 4. So it'll be 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. That's the term I'm looking for. So therefore, I'm going to place, this will be 11, choose 0, choose 1, choose 2, choose 3, choose 4, 5, 6, 7. 11, choose 7. My A will be 2A, my B will be negative 3B. My exponent, 11 minus 7 will be 4, and this will be a 7. And now I can just tap into the calculator. So 11, choose 7, will give me 330. 2 to the 4th will be 16, 8 to the 4th, and negative 3 to the 7th power. Make sure you place your negative 3 in parentheses. So negative 2187. I'm going to multiply all those numbers together. So 330 times 16 times 2187. So it'll be negative 1,154,7,360, 8 to the 4th, and let me not forget my b to the 3rd power, to the 7th power. And this will be your answer. Place my commas in there. So then, the last thing that we're covering is Pascal triangle. Pascal is a mathematician, and this triangle is attributed to him. We start with the 1. You guys have this last year. I'm going to start with the 1. And on the side, I'm going to place a 1. I'm going to skip a line or a space and then a 1. I'm going to do, once again, 1. I'm going to add up those two numbers. 1 plus 1 will give me a 2. And then I'm going to end up with a 1. Again, I'm going to start with a 1. 1 plus 2 will give me a 3. I'm going to add up those two numbers. 2 plus 1 will give me a 3. And I'm going to end up with a 1. I'm always going to start with a 1. Add up those two numbers. 1 plus 3 will give me a 4. 3 plus 3 will give me a 6. 3 plus 1 will give me a 4. I'm going to end up with a 1. The next one will be 1. You add up those two numbers. 1 plus 4 will give me a 5. 6 plus 4 will give me a 10. 10, 5, and a 1. So try the next two rows and see what you get. Go and pause it. Excellent. So at this point, all of you guys have finished this. So it'll be 1, 6, 15, 20, 15, 6, and 1. And you see some symmetry in there. So the next one will be 1, 7, 21, 35, 35, 21, 7, and 1. And we do one more. So therefore will be 1. This will be the last one. That gives me 8. That gives me 28. That gives me 56, 70, 56, 28, and 8. This one should be here. Now, and let me not forget the last one, which is a 1. Now, you can use this Pascal triangle to be able to figure out your coefficients. So if you notice on example number 2, on example number 3, here we go. On example number 3, your coefficients are 1, 4, 6, 4, and 1. And they're located here. 1, 4, 6, 4, and 1. So there's some books that will actually, instead of using the combination, will actually just write down 1, 4, 6, 4, and 1. And we are using that row because your n is 4. So therefore, this is your 4th row. Or this is your 2nd row, 3rd row, 5th row, 6th row, 7th row, and 8th row, and so on. So once you get to example number 4, on example number 4, n is 5. So therefore, our 5th row is 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. And those numbers are located here. 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. And if you're looking at the last example number 5, you'll have to develop the 8th row in order to come up with this number. On the 8th row will be your 6th number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number is right here, 56. But most of the time we prefer to use a combination because for this type of problems it's a little faster, especially if you have a calculator. So this will be the notes for today. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.